go ahead and start this meeting with the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have roll call.
Dan Pillow,
Here.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Here.
Kathy Byess,
Here.
Ann Pillow,
Here.
Al Glick, Pam Jackson.
Here. And before we begin with the clerk's report, the third shift, or the third seat in the water board is officially vacated. And I would like to appoint Cliff Harvey for the seat of the water board. Council, what's your pleasure?
I make a motion that we approve the appointment of the mayor for Cliff Harvey being on our water board.
I'll second it.
Motion by Dan Pillow, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess, Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick, Pam Jackson.
Yay. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and swear him in, and also our two new officers that are here, I was going to swear in as well while I'm standing up there.
Very good.
And stand on this side of me. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
Cliff Harvey,
Duly solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to uphold the Constitution and the laws
to uphold the Constitution and the laws
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
of the state of Ohio,
the state of Ohio,
and the ordinances and resolutions
of the ordinance and the resolutions
of the village of Addyston, Ohio.
of the village of Addyston, Ohio.
All right. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
All right, raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Patrick Bailey,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support the Constitution and laws
that I will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Ohio,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Ohio,
and the laws and ordinances
and the laws and ordinances
of the village of Addyston,
of the village of Addyston,
to which I am appointed,
to which I am appointed,
and to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability,
will discharge the duties of this office.
will discharge the duties of this office. Thank you.
Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Michael Martin,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States of America,
and the laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the state of Ohio,
of the state of Ohio,
and the laws and ordinances
and the laws and ordinances
of the village of Addyston,
of the village of Addyston,
to which I am appointed,
to which I am appointed
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
and will discharge the duties of this office.
and will discharge the duties of this office.
Welcome aboard. What am I doing then?
I thought you were coming back.
Oh, you wish. All right, we'll move on now to the clerk's report.
You received the minutes from the January 16th meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from January the 16th.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Kathy. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
You have pay ordinance 2A, this was for biweekly payroll, which was paid on January the 26th. From the general fund, $7,447.09. From the water fund, $2,993.51, for a combined total of $10,440.60.
I'll make a motion to adopt as read.
One second.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Al Glick. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess, Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick, Pam Jackson.
Yay.
You received 2B, this was for monthly salaries to be dispersed on February the 15th. From the general fund, $7,755.23. From the water fund, $1,258.82, for a combined total of $9,014.05.
I'll make a motion to approve 2B.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam, seconded by Al. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess, Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Next you have 2C, this is for accounts payable. From the general fund, $8,004.21. From street construction, maintenance, and repair, $1,310.86. From the water fund, $408.45, for a combined total of $9,723.52.
I'll make a motion to approve 2C.
Second.
Motion by Al Glick, seconded by Jennifer Wiehe. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess, Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Next you have 2D, again, this is for accounts payable. From the general fund, $6,155.18. From the street construction, maintenance, repair fund, $4,855.96. From the water fund, $250.67, for a combined total of $11,261.81.
I'll make a motion to approve 2D, 2024.
Second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Al Glick. Any discussion?
Yes.
No?
I think it's, I don't have a copy, but I think it's number 10. The,
Civic Plus.
yes, Civic Plus, we approved that, and did we, if so, did we look at anybody else? Because it seems kind of high to me.
There was a few other ones.
I thought we put a motion on the floor, and then I thought, he said something about iPanda, and I thought we were gonna check it out, but I don't think we did anything.
iPanda, we looked at iPanda, and that was from the mayor from Please. We did look at it, but the cost wasn't that much difference. It was like $600 difference. But I looked at it, and I know Lisa looked at it too.
Well, and the thing is too, he said that they're planning on going with it. They haven't even used it yet. So what if they don't like it and they go back to Civic Plus where they started? Kind of was my thought. If they go with it, they like it, and we see what's going on with them, I think then we can always change over.
It's the cost, when we looked at it, when I presented it before, it was like, we was paying the other webmaster that we had for years, we was paying him like $2,200 a year. And then the other one we thought we were gonna go with, that the IT guy recommended, that wasn't really to design it or anything, it was to host it for us. But we've been waiting almost 2.5 years to get a web page up there, and it has been presented a couple times in council.
Did, Margaret, did you and the mayor get a site that I sent to you? To look at.
Municipal.
Yeah,
Bid or whatever.
Bid.
yeah.
I did look at it, but it didn't, out of the two, this one just seemed like it had more opportunity for us with
Mhm.
different things that we could select from.
Did you get that in your email? Because I noticed people have been getting solicited emails for websites now that we've looked at somebody else.
Yeah, they sent
They've
it.
been
Yeah.
getting different,
Yeah.
I didn't know if
Yeah, they
anybody
said
else
they
was
want-
getting hit with those.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I want to be careful with some of those too.
Yeah, I think they were looking at it.
yeah.
Well, this is the one that the township, I spoke to them about. And then at the last meeting when Cleese, the mayor from Cleese, he's the one that said their administrator told him about this iPanda, but I don't know if they've switched or not. But I did look at iPanda, and the mayor looked at it also. I mean, we sat and compared the two side by side on different laptops while we was going through it.
I think the accessibility to the citizens with Civic Plus is what I liked more. With the ordinances and everything else, we'd like to have already up there so they don't even have to request it.
Yeah. That's this one, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, council did vote to go with them.
Do we have to pay somebody to gather all the information that they need to put in the system?
No,
Or they're just gonna,
it's a part of the packet.
I just want to make sure that it's all included and
Well,
that you're
yeah,
not.
I'm sorry, it is.
Yeah, they
And-
switched somebody down to the train or something on it, wasn't they?
I mean, they gave us sort of a laundry list of things. Look, this is something even you guys could
It's supposed to be included in the
volunteer
train.
stuff. They want pictures, things like that. If you want some picture backgrounds to move around, if you guys have pictures you'd like to see up on there, you can, hey, submit it to me or Margaret. I'd like to see this put up there. Any kind of information we have for events, stuff like that is also submitted by us.
They will send us, we will have an assigned rep for the village of Addyston who will be dealing with 1 or 2 people for everything that goes there. Matthew, when his service was terminated, he sent me everything that I had sent him in the past. So I have that where I can easily give it to the new company, and that's what ordinances that he had up there for me, resolutions, the minutes, the things like that. The other things that would go up there is, say, like, the code enforcer could, have a page where people could go get permits and also do the cost online. They can tie it in with the mayor's court for cost. They can tie it in with the water board. I mean, we're just learning. They'll make it what we want. That's everything that was on that.
Basically, as soon as they get their mock site up, you guys will, like, here's a link, guys, what do you think?
Just 2 more questions, if I might,
Sure.
Mayor and Margaret. It sounds like we can get out of the contract, from what Margaret was saying, if we need to, without any penalties.
After a year.
Oh, after a year, okay, yeah. And, second one, we'll come back. Second question.
You sure? All right, call for the vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay?
Kathy Byess, Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
About 2 weeks ago, I sent out an email to everybody in regards to the vandalism that was done over at the park. And gotta think of the name of the company. Game Changer come back, and they had 3 different proposals. 2 of them was where they could like patch it and paint it, fill it in. And then the other one was remove the whole thing and start over. I personally didn't feel comfortable just sending that on without council giving some direction on what they wanted me to do. So I'm asking you, do you want me to send all 3 of these? Do you want me to send the one that's the 23,000 or the one that's 3,000 and then, I don't know where the other one is. I think the other one was, I'm not sure, but anyhow, I have spoken to our insurance agent and told her that, you know, I was bringing this to council, and then as soon as council made a decision, I would forward this to her. She does have a copy of the incident report that I got from the chief, so that she can pursue it.
Margaret, I may be wrong, but I thought that council said, send them to them and see what they're willing to pay. That's my thought. I think I responded to you with that.
I think you did, but I don't think everybody responded.
That's just, was,
I mean, I just
My
want to make
thought.
sure I'm
I'll
doing
just
the
send
right
them all
thing.
3 of the quotes from Game Changers.
yeah, and see, you know, what a
One
video
quote.
they'll pay for. I guess if we
One
If we
part of that
wanted to do
quote-
anything, we'd send the one to have it replaced.
Well, the
So
one
is
part of
the
that quote was
3,000 for
the
just
pickleball
a
courts as well.
patch job on it, and is it guaranteed? I mean,
Yeah, see the patch, that's
don't
what I'm
think it
thinking.
is it
Will
guaranteed?
last?
Will it last?
Not long,
Not long?
better off to replace it.
But if they
I
go
think
over there
one
and
part of that
re-pour this, is there
is
gonna be
pickleball
somebody to
too.
watch it so they don't vandalize it again?
Yeah.
That's the problem, that we're, you know, who's gonna be watching over there to make sure it's not vandalized again?
So that,
It only has to be watched for how long? 6 hours, 8 hours?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Before it's
I
too
mean,
hard.
if they pour a new
Well,
one.
council, taking shifts.
Taking shifts.
I work 12 hours at my job.
shifts.
Well, I mean, I don't have a problem sending this to them the way it is. It's just that when I did receive it, it was sort of like the original bid that we got, and it had all the other information on it. And I sort of asked them if they could just send me the 3 separate ones.
Well, I kind of wonder too,
Yeah,
if you
sure.
guys send it in for 3,000 and
They're
an
gonna take
insurance,
that one.
see?
The lowest amount they're gonna take.
would
They're
just
not
Why
gonna-
wouldn't the
I
highest?
just didn't feel like I should do anything on my own.
and just be done, leave the pickleball part out of it, because they're gonna say, well,
Because
that
if you
ain't
send in
done.
that lesser one, they're gonna pick that one
Well,
first.
Well, it's on that,
They don't wanna
when
come out of that
he
money.
centered all 3.
They sent
prices,
everything
they
from
added
the
it to-
original quote,
Right.
and then they said the last 2 or 3 things is what we can do.
Right. It's-
But I don't have a problem doing this. I'll get it off to them tomorrow afternoon, to the
If you
agent.
send them, I mean, I agree that if you send them the low one, they're gonna pick that up right away.
Oh, yeah. They don't wanna cut out, it's under your coat.
And then get you to understand that, you know, you purchased a Chevy, now you go.
So, just so council knows, that's what will happen.
So I haven't looked at the basketball court. Is there like a fence around it or a gate where it locks or
No,
There's
it's
a
a-
fence all
it's
the way around.
open? So they're gonna, I mean, definitely gonna need somebody down there to watch it because
Yeah.
you don't know
Yeah.
if they're gonna come back and redo it again and the
Well,
insurance
yeah, the
company's gonna get
problem-
tired of fixing it.
The problem
They go
was
back.
that we didn't,
we
obviously
lived
didn't
in
anticipate that the
Anticipated,
kids would
yeah.
tear up their
They
new
don't know
basketball
it's
court.
secure.
But
They
if
tore up
if it had been able to cure another 2-3 hours,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have been able to do that much damage.
Yeah, I mean, even with the playground equipment, they vandalized that as soon as it went up. I
Absolutely.
mean, it's the kids that we have in our community
Hopefully,
now.
hopefully, once this is to the insurance company, they'll do an investigation and maybe somebody will get prosecuted out of it.
How are they
You
gonna
know,
catch
I
them?
mean-
There's no cameras, right? You don't, nobody's gonna come forward and say, hey, I did it,
I mean, there's word going around.
Yeah.
except you know who it is, but you can't
Prove
prove it.
Okay,
So we need a motion.
So,
That would be nice.
I'll make a motion that we send it out, send just to totally replace what's messed up,
I'll second.
instead of just repairing it.
Motion by Pam, second by Al. Any further discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yes.
Kathy Byess, Ann Pillow,
okay,
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
All right. Then you also received a copy of appropriation status as of the end of January and revenue status. And I think that's all I have there. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not all I have.
No, we're not done yet.
It's been a long day. The two maintenance trucks had been advertised, that it was in the Enquirer. I actually put something over at the post office. Today I opened the bids.
Oh, wow.
We received 3 different bids. For the white 1996 white Ford truck, we had an offer of $4,500. $458.18. We had another one of $827 and another one of $650. Then for the 2000 F-250 red Ford truck, we had a bid of $968.18, and we had one of $1,512. Like I
Council,
said,
what's your pleasure? Which bids you want to accept?
or if you don't want to accept any of them, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But it was legally advertised in the paper, and it was noted over there.
What was the second one on the red truck?
The second one on the red truck was $1,512. And on the white 1996 white Ford truck, there was $458.18, $827, and then $650.
What's the blue book on each one of them?
Well, I don't know, because I don't know that much about those type of things. Maybe the maintenance,
Well, that's where the person buying it should do the research.
you know, I mean,
Yeah?
I'll take them both.
Oh, God. He's offering right now. What's your bid?
What's your bid?
oh, well, the bid's already,
Yeah.
It's already been read.
Yeah.
We can go online very quickly, within 2 minutes, and find the blue,
Yeah.
those of you who are apt to do that kind of stuff, so.
Yeah.
You can find to get one on a 96.
I mean, council, on the advertisement, it says council has the right to refuse any and all bids. It also says that they are as is, there's no warranty, no guarantee. It's there.
Which one is the red one again, Mayor?
The old water board.
The old water main.
That one's a mess, so you better, I would
Oh,
take
yeah.
whatever they offered for
yeah.
that.
What was the 96, what type, what model was the 96?
The
that the white
96
one?
is a white Ford, that's the stick, isn't it?
It is.
That's the stick with the cab bed or something on it. I had one of these guys walk in today at 1:30. Said, I want to buy one of them trucks. I said, well, here's what you gotta do. And he said, I said, I'll be here, come back at 2, and he sealed it up and gave it to me, and I stamped it, and
Is that a long bed? The bed
I
of
don't
the,
know what it is.
2 weeks.
huh?
We have to have,
Girl,
No, the bed of the truck.
oh, I think it's,
I'm trying to look up the,
It's not long.
it's not,
I
is
think
it
it's the
short?
mid.
It's long?
Long.
Is the bidding on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I have a long 3148 on a.
unless
I got
they
it on a
vote
blue
not
book.
to accept them, then we go back out for bids, but.
Man, is interested, I would accept bids.
Must be fine, Kat.
Well, I don't know if that one's correct. Let me look around here. I think all awful
Dustin,
high
you
for
have any idea?
96.
Yes.
Do you have any idea of the blue
Value?
book?
But trucks always are.
The blue book on these?
I didn't know I had to do that.
If you got a man that might be interested,
Yeah.
I'd close the bid, let him bid on
What's the, we know the mileage?
Well, I tell you, the one guy was from emergency remarketing, like a business type. The other two, one's local from Home City and the other one is here in Addyston.
I would have bid too if I'd have thought. If I had, you know.
Definitely no.
Want to think about it and come back? I mean,
Yeah, we need to figure the blue book.
If you guys just wanna table that, we'll come back.
Yeah.
Just table it.
Table it?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to that effect that we table the bids on the trucks.
I'll second it.
Motion by Dan Pillow, second by Al Glick. Is there any further discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yeah.
Ann Pillow,
Yeah.
Al Glick,
Yeah.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
They're gonna table during this meeting, or just till
That's
the end of?
fine.
Okay. Now, I think I got it. I think.
Yeah, you got the basketball courts and trucks, that's why I wrote it down. That's why I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll move on to Bob, we have ordinances.
I have an ordinance authorizing the village to enter into a funding agreement between the Board of County Commissioners, Hamilton County, Ohio, and the Village of Addyston to administer a 2024 small event grant. Were these distributed, Margaret, or?
No,
Nope.
you've got the stack.
There's- Everybody get one of
Okay, I
those? I also have an ordinance authorizing the mayor and village clerk to enter into a contract with Civic Plus for website design, hosting, support, and training for the village website.
You have all the copies.
Yep, it's got them all.
Yep, you got them all, Bob.
Don't trust me.
This is.
Single page.
Everybody get one in there?
I think so. Everybody get one?
Yep.
Okay.
So those are the two ordinances
Yep.
that I have for council tonight.
We didn't get them here. We'll have to do them next time.
All right, fair enough.
The ordinance concerning the website, I'll make a motion that the rules be suspended, said ordinance be declared an emergency, read 3 times.
I'll second it.
Motion by Dan Pillow, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yeah.
Ann Pillow,
Yes.
Al Glick,
Yeah.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
First reading, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and village clerk to enter into a contract with Civic Plus for website design, hosting, support, and training for the village website. Second reading, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and village clerk to enter into a contract with Civic Plus for website design, hosting, support, and training for the village website. Third reading, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and village clerk to enter into a contract with Civic Plus for website design, hosting, support, and training for the village website.
I'll make a motion to adopt as read.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Al Glick. Any further discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yeah.
Ann Pillow,
Yeah.
Al Glick,
Yeah.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
This will be number 2.
On the special events, grant, I'll make a motion to suspend the rules, read by title only 3 times, and declare an emergency.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, seconded by Al Glick. Any discussion? No discussions, will vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
First reading, an ordinance authorizing the village to enter into a funding agreement between the Board of County Commissioners, Hamilton County, Ohio, and the Village of Addyston to administer a 2024 small event grant. Second reading, an ordinance authorizing the village to enter into a funding agreement between the Board of County Commissioners, Hamilton County, Ohio, and the Village of Addyston to administer a 2024 small event grant. Third reading, an ordinance authorizing the village to enter into a funding agreement between the Board of County Commissioners, Hamilton County, Ohio, and the Village of Addyston to administer a 2024 small event grant.
I'll make a motion to adopt as read.
I'll second it.
Motion by Pam Jackson, seconded by Al Glick. Any discussion? No discussion, will vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
This will be number 3.
All I have there.
All right, thank you, Bob. Move on to committees. Dan Pillow.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to thank council and the community for your thoughts and prayers that when both Ann and I were pretty sick at the same time, unfortunately. I don't get sick too often. As a matter of fact, 2 or 3 days of flu is all I've witnessed. But whatever I had, a combination of COVID, upper respiratory disease, and flu, and I went through all the medications on all of those, and none of that helped. And finally, I'm on a couple of more medications that have brought me over the top. Today, I sound a little weak, but this is the worst day I've had in about 3 or 4 days. But I'm doing much better, and I'm sure Miss Ann will be able to tell you about her recovery as well. She was very sick as well. I just want council to know that coming back, even doing the thing, I think, well, I'm not doing anything. I can do council work. I just couldn't focus. I couldn't do anything. Nothing worked very well for me. Excuse me. I just want to let council know, now that I'm sort of getting back on the horse, where I'm going, the things I'm going to be working for and calling council to work for. One thing, I'll need council's permission to put specs together for the grants that we have. Those grants are pretty much already given back to the grantor as to what we'll use them for. So I want to put that whole package together and do the specs on those, and then we'll bring them back to council as soon as possible. A couple of these we hope to have done or began in the spring or early summer, depending on how we end up with the insurance company, where the basketball court will be, and one of the grants, the bigger part of the grant is specifically for a pavilion on the playground, and we have grant money for that. Like I say, we have 2 grants for 2024 and 1 large grant that we were able to get for 2025, and that was for $200,000 for electric and various other things. Maybe if we have enough money to do the splash pad at the beginning or sometime during 2025. So I'm working, and I'll make sure council gets information as to how much money we have for each grant and what we have applied for. So that's pretty much where I am, and just as quickly as we can get these things out of line, I will be throwing myself totally into the housing situation. There's been not a lot going on in the county or in the state for funding. We just jumped on funding, but we'll start to dig around, sniff around on those types of things as quickly as we get finished with this area. And that's all I have right now, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Jennifer?
Now that we're all back together and whole again, we'll be scheduling a laws and contracts meeting. So I'll be reaching out to Miss Ann and Miss Pam on that one day this week. We'll come up with a date.
I have meetings on Tuesday and Thursday.
Oh, did
Yeah.
you want to set that up now?
What, the
No,
Oh.
because she was asking about the date.
halls?
I'm hoping that it's gonna be next Wednesday, but I need to look at my schedule, but I'm thinking I have a half day then. So that's why I said,
Oh, not this Wednesday, but not the day after tomorrow.
right,
Okay,
right. But I have to double check my schedule.
okay.
Because I'm off Saturday, so I'm thinking I work next Saturday.
All right.
I just found out I was the chairman of the Water, of Public Works, so I will have to look at my schedule and see what I need to, get a meeting for that. I'll get with Margret and let her know. Other than that, I do want to take 1 minute to send out our condolences to Darnell Pate's family on his untimely passing. So,
Who was that, Kathy? I'm
our
sorry.
police officer Darnell Pate that was here, he was murdered up in Dayton a
Oh
couple
my
days
gosh,
ago.
I didn't know
Last,
that.
Yeah.
last Tuesday or
Yeah,
Wednesday.
last Tuesday. And to the family of Michael Green.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Was he working up there?
He was a bouncer or security for a nightclub.
Security.
Yeah, they said that it was a hit, that they were waiting for him.
Basically, somebody was waiting for him when he got out, because they found him shot in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tragedy. So, yeah,
Yeah,
Kathy.
that's it.
Thanks, Kathy. Miss Ann?
Okay. I too thank everybody for their prayers and thoughts, as well as for the beautiful flowers that were received from the council while we were out. I was a little sick, was in ICU for 6-7 days. Got a lot of blood. But doing much better now than that. But, so just continue to work that direction to get better, stronger. So that's all I have to say about that. So, what I do have, we have a meeting scheduled for Parks and Playgrounds on tomorrow at 6 o'clock. That'll be here. And we will be discussing what we're gonna be doing in 2024 in the park. And we do plan to have some type of function to open the basketball court, to introduce it to the village. And we haven't planned that yet, but we will. And we'll talk about that tomorrow night at that meeting. And then the other thing that I have scheduled is a police committee meeting, and that's on Thursday at 6 o'clock. And at that meeting, we'll be talking about the police department and where we're going and what we want to see done so we can present it to the council. Will you be available Thursday evening at 6 o'clock?
I should be, yeah.
Okay, so we'll be here, Kathy, Jennifer, and I are on that committee. You starting at 6. Do we have anything else? I don't think I have any other committees to report on at this time.
All right, thanks, Miss Ann. Al?
I don't have nothing right now this time, Mayor. Everything we went through with the Special Events Committee so far, and the chairman's gonna speak about that, and let you kinda know where we're at right now.
Okay. Dan, did you have something to add?
Yeah, just very quickly before I forget, I think it would be a real kind gesture on the part of our community if we can find out information on Darnell, that we send flowers.
I think there's something posted
He was
online.
You know, he wasn't a bad person. He just, what happened here, you know. I
Made
think-
bad mistakes.
Yeah, maybe that's it, but I think that, yeah, and if we find out somebody to send it to, I'd like to send my own personal condolences to. Thank you, that's all I
Thank you, Dan, appreciate that.
Yeah, some flowers or something.
Something,
have.
definitely. All right. Pam?
All right, which one first? We'll do special events. Special events, we did meet as soon as we found out about the grant, which we excited, because we were trying to, meeting before, we plugged some dates in and times of different events for the year, and you should have copies of this stuff in your drawer, hopefully. Since you weren't able to be here, because we had to move on because there was dates that these companies needed to know and trying to lock in dates of, because we always seem to we get the end of the line, and we're in the fall, so we tried to lock in some summer dates. So we were able to do it, just kind of catch Dan and Ann up. July 19th and 20th, the carnival people can come, and just so happened we found out about the grant, so we need to, we wanted to apply for that. Of course, we're not gonna not apply for it, so that really helps us to do what we did before and try to plan it on the same day, and even a couple other times during the year, other things throughout the summer. And we did include like something for the grand opening of the basketball court and other things, just so we can utilize our park and focus on that and use it for our events, basically. And the police department's gonna have something going on. There's several things. It was in the minutes, so you guys should have it.
Okay.
Here's another form we can give you, Dan, if you don't have it. And I thought we put all the stuff in the drawer for Ann. But on the grant itself, just to touch bases on that, I mean, it's gonna be, basically, it looks exactly like it did last year. So we just kind of cut and paste that in there, get the letters from our businesses that in support of it, and the target date, which seems to be the best to work around, staying away from holidays, to work the circus in too, to be here. They're gonna be able to bring better, more things, July 19th and 20th, because we kicked around all these different dates.
2 days.
Yeah, and they're willing to come in. He did contact me today, because I don't know what they were asking what the hours that we wanted it to be. They suggested like 5 to 9 on Friday and 2 to 9 on Saturday. So, I don't know how you just want me to answer this I mean, that sounds reasonable. They're the people that know when people are out. And then afterwards, we'd have the bands and stuff, so, or even a little bit before, like we did. So, so we'd figure that out. I'll notify him. I asked him if we had to have an answer today. He said, no, just in the next few weeks. But I know we don't meet again until, February? I mean, March?
We're in February.
Yeah,
I know
February's a
already.
holiday, yeah. So March. So I don't know if that time sounds okay. I mean, they're the people that know what works
I don't have a
best.
problem with those dates,
Yeah.
or times.
So, just let them, if council's in agreement, just let
What'd
them
you say
know.
for Saturday?
2 to 9, but we can go beyond that, like with the music. This is just for the carnival people themselves.
Okay.
Just have the rides open.
Just have the
and
rides,
stuff
and they're
for
gonna
kids.
bring bigger rides, more than just the bouncy houses and stuff. They're gonna do a lot more for us.
Are they gonna work the rides and all that stuff?
Yeah, we don't, definitely, we know we don't have the manpower or the time, just like they did
On
before.
Friday.
Friday, they suggested 5 to 9. I just got this today. And then, 2 to 9 on Saturday. Seems reasonable.
Reasonable, yeah.
And he's supposed to be sending the contract, stuff like that. That way we'll know exactly what we're getting. We haven't got anything on that yet.
But that part of it is strictly them.
That's just them.
We don't have to furnish any people or anything like
No.
that.
That's them. We just give them a spot. They do their thing. We just need to know how much room they need, of course, so we can build around that if we get this in a grant.
Pam, concerning that grant, I will say, as I said last year, the grant is for special events and community
Right.
development. I would still like, from the community development standpoint, put together brochure, talks about all of our businesses as a couple of $1,000s out of the, $20,000 that we have combined.
We're open.
Yeah, for 25.
That's
Yeah.
what we
That's
can
what they
apply
said last
for.
year too, and
We
then
applied
it was
for it.
less.
And they
Yeah.
give us 17
Yeah.
last year.
So,
Yeah.
we don't know what'll happen.
I certainly would like to work on putting the piece in that kind of highlights our community and its businesses and things like that. This something that people could put their hands on. Maybe have enough to put a welcome package together that we have. That when we know we get new citizens, they get a welcome package that talks about Addison. It's not very expensive, it's just
Right.
somebody has to do it. And I don't mind working with the community development committee to put something together if you guys can see and if council can see ways to give us the money to work on the community development end of it.
All right. So that's all. We'll just have to get together, and I know the mayor has volunteered to do what she did last year about filling it out for
Yeah,
us.
so I've got everything ready, it's just waiting on approval from you guys.
Right.
And then I've got the insurance information that she's gonna add to it.
Basically, I got the packet all put together, everything's shored up, and I was waiting to say yes.
So when you get that contract, they're gonna tell you the price of the rides for the kids and all that?
It normally, the last year it didn't go that far, but I can surely ask.
Yeah, like if they can get wristbands or whatever.
Because that's what they did
cut
the last time,
cost.
which is the little
Yeah.
small amount that they had.
Yeah.
Well, yes, come back before council to accept it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
us to enter into it.
And then we can
Make sure
also
we-
ask about pre-sale tickets, that was mentioned too, so I don't know. We'll see where we're at from there.
So Mayor, if I will, because I didn't get much discussion or consensus, I would put in the form of a motion that the community development component of the event be allowed to have $2,500 to put together a community development package.
A community development package, I mean,
That was part of that other grant that we had, wasn't it? Didn't we get that from We Thrive? That community development? Mental
That's
health,
always community development. But this grant states that it is a special event, community development
I got one on the truck, I know.
day. And that's where I intend to, that's where I always, because I see money coming from to do that. And I think that's something very necessary in our community.
when I talked to, gosh, I'm trying to think of her name now.
Holly Christmas.
Holly Christmas. One of her biggest focuses is how much money and things would that bring into the community and how much does it help the businesses? I mean, as far as like putting together like a packet, I guess I'm trying to understand how, I mean, because they're supposed to be there themselves too, putting out their business. And it's
That's the way
like a
you
free
interpret that.
advertising venue for them.
Mhm. That's the way you interpret it, that all the businesses should come and have their own booths and say, this is what I do.
If they,
Is that-
yeah, I mean, that's that's my consensus from what she was saying to me.
Okay.
It's like a
Yeah.
But
I mean, this is for
economic
them to put
development.
out how they want to represent their own businesses.
yes, and that's what this brochure would be like. I'd go to Cliff and say, Cliff, here, you've got 250 words. We're gonna put you in this brochure. We're gonna put a picture of your business in. You can tell us all about your business and what you do. That way, every business in the community, they don't have to show up over there. A lot of people are not gonna show up. We've got, damn near, excuse me, we've got under 20 businesses in our community. And they're just not gonna show up. But I think it's our responsibility to see if they're represented. And we're not asking for much, but I do think it works well for everybody in the community.
I mean, we own our own business and we go out and we do our own, going around and bids and let people know what we do. We don't have like, I mean,
Well, how about instead of
I mean,
making a
that's where-
decision on that tonight, council, put that in consideration and think about what you wanna do, relook at that budget.
Right.
I have a motion on the floor and I need either it'll go without a second or we'll change it to look at it, take it into consideration. So is there a second is what I don't know if we have or not.
There wasn't a second mentioned, Dan.
Well, yeah, we had a discussion, so is
I'll
it?
Second.
Okay, we have 2 seconds.
All right, motion by Dan Pillow to put together a brochure and adding $2,500 to the budget for that purpose. Seconded by Ms. Ann, right?
Yep.
All right, any discussion?
I think we discussed it pretty good.
All right, call to the vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay?
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Nay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay. Okay, so that's all. Anything else on the special events?
So what was that? Is that is it passed or what's going on?
The only question I have is what did we make on that special event last year? Or did we make anything? I've not seen any reports from that.
Made it after everything was,
There was still one thing that was outstanding that,
yeah, there was a liquor or a beer.
because.
We got a charge from 13 Below, like last month. They sent me an invoice.
Because I thought it was paid. I had an
It was-
invoice and I was like, I wasn't sure where. So
And that was like $750, which,
so other than that, everything else was in.
but I, you know, off the top of my head, I wanna say it was like $6,000 after everything, but I'll go back and double check. I did have it all itemized on what came in and what went out, and everything like that.
So we made 6,000, Margaret, or
It was
somewhere in that area?
around that area after everything was paid for, because there were some things that the county wouldn't pay for, like beer and stuff
Sure.
like that. And then we have like the $618 that this special event, like, not special events, parks, you know, had. So I'll bring a whole printout to the next one, or I'll email it to you or something.
Yeah, we'll just email it to them and then we
Yeah.
can discuss at the next meeting. But there was some profit, but not,
Mhm.
you know, we know the weather killed us, but we didn't go in the hole.
Did all right.
You said it felt all right?
I said it did all right.
I said it
No,
really
it was
got
cold.
It was cold.
It was definitely
Really
cold. I did not like.
Really
snow.
cold. My feet were frozen.
Yes,
Okay. But it still passed because it was 5-1.
all righty, good. Thank you.
All right, the next, we did have a finance committee meeting also. I'll give you guys a copy of this stuff. If you want to take one and pass them around. I should have taken this earlier, sorry. We met on, January the 30th. Purpose was to discuss the budget, so we did, with Margaret and, Kathy was there, Jennifer was there. And we did review all the stuff, updated the 2023 year-end appropriations.
Take one and pass it around.
And again, it's very tight this year, as usual. We're trying to fit everything in. I know we had to move a lot of things down, like to cover a lot of things from the police budget, taking it out, hitting the general fund, trying to move it from other funds that possibly could do, like the vest and the body cameras. We just did some switches on things, and we're still looking at that. In the summer youth program, we were down to bare bones, and we still couldn't scrape enough together, so I don't know if that's gonna happen. I mean, we just put it out there. We're kind of disappointed with that, although we had just 2 kids last year, but still, that's 2 kids that we could have this year too, if we can find some money. We will have to have another meeting.
What's in draft form?
Yeah, because this is all in draft right here. Just so you guys can review it, if you got anything, any comments.
Yeah.
And our fair available next, what date, Tuesday? Not this week, next week. The 2 over there.
Pam, could we find out what the, or you may know off the top of your head, what the cost of the 2 kids was last year?
offhand.
Wasn't very
It was
much.
about $4,000 for the 2 kids. But the thing of it is, it's just trying to move money everywhere. I mean, adding stuff to staff the full, the police department, even with like having part-time, to relieve, to take some of the pressure off the general fund, some things we're moving to, like the law enforcement fund, like for the vest and some of their like body cameras and things that have to be replaced to get the guys out on the street.
Right, and the fact that we have 3 full-time people, you know, all that's, you know, that takes from that fund. So
And it's
we had to
salary,
switch here,
too.
pull here to make everything work. That's why it's making it even tighter than it was, but it worked, but it has to be, we gotta give away some things. I know it's, I don't want it to be the kids, but we're, like I said, it's still draft, so. Hopefully if someone could sponsor our program, that would be great. Like in the past, we were given like $10,000 to, just for the summer youth. That hasn't happened in years, as we all know. But if you're available next Tuesday, I would like to go ahead and schedule that if you guys
I
can.
have work Tuesday, but what time?
We'll have,
Anytime
you
after
work
5.
after 5, so,
Yeah, I get off at 6:30,
well, what time works?
7,
7?
6:45, I can
Is
be
there
here. I
another
can-
day that's earlier?
I can hit the speed limit.
What, you think 7's too late?
Yeah, that's fine. On the 12th, or on the 13th, 7?
Does that work?
Yeah.
On Thursday? I don't know what that date is. It's the 13th, or is it
And
the 13th?
while we was putting
Yeah.
this together,
It's the 13th.
I had reached out to April, whatever her last name is, down at the county. And I had got the actual balances from the different grants that we have, because I didn't have all that when I submitted my first certificate of revenue to the county auditor, so I had to amend that after this meeting. And that reflects too what we're gonna, you know, like on this, I made sure I added the numbers, but I have to cover it at the other end with the county. Make sure that everything's there.
Okay. All right, really, that's all I had, unless somebody has questions about this. Like I said, it's just a draft form, we're just working on it right now.
On this, where there was certain things that come up, like, there was an interest in the bridge project. There was money that was allotted in that. There was, for the recycling program that the village wants to do, that was put in underneath the refuge collection, where we have the cleanup day, the new recycling thing that council's hoping to do. On the maintenance department, there was some things that was moved from the general fund, moved to the special funds, like the payment on the truck. It was moved to take it from street construction and maintenance and repair, but we had to leave the riding lawnmower payment in there because we don't use it on the street. There's just different things, you can look through it, see where I know that things should be moved to try to help alleviate, some of the pressure on the general fund.
Yeah.
I mean, we only have so much money, you know, to do things with.
So trying to pull it out some of the special funds to make it work. So we shall meet again. And that's all I had.
All right, thank you, Pam.
We're gonna go back on the trucks.
No.
They're not going to, so I can tell the three guys that council didn't make a decision.
I would, yeah,
We can do
they
that.
suggested a table.
Do we know? We do
I
figure
didn't know
that
if they
out.
was tabling for this meeting or. On the trucks, was you guys
Yeah, I'd ask them
tabling
what they
that
wanna do.
to the next time we meet, or was you just tabling it for this meeting? I need to know, because the 3 men wanted me to call them tomorrow to let them know what we did. So,
I
Yes,
got
council agreed to table it till the next council
Okay.
meeting.
Next meeting.
I think that's what the motion said.
No, it just said
They said till
table.
the end of the meeting, yeah.
Oh.
I thought we were,
That's
I'm
what-
sure we
I
had it
thought we
on,
were still looking at
to the
something.
next- Somebody
We're looking at
asked,
the blue book back.
somebody asked.
Yeah, she asked, did you wanna do to the end of the meeting, or,
And I think somebody said yes.
yeah, I think somebody didn't kinda get that and just went on with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I, because the one came back in today about 3:30 and wanted to know what the decision was, and I said, I won't know anything until after tonight's meeting, so I will let them know that it's just been tabled
It'll be till March.
until the March meeting.
Cause we could always do a special if council wanted to get that done. We love
Sure it'll
special.
be something.
I see that.
I'm sure we'll have something else.
We're talking about those vehicles. Where are we on the Chevy?
That will have to get with Bob, cause I went to the Indiana court. I was
Yeah.
ready to go to court over it, cause they told me that I had to set up a court date. So I took the papers I had to do that, and then, I told him what I needed to do, what they said to do, and then he said he'd take care of it.
Okay. Okay, Bob, we're talking
Was
about
that
the Chevy.
The
Car
Chevy
that
that's out
was-
there, yeah.
Yeah,
The car out there.
yeah.
The
The
car that we
forfeited
had to
car.
get from Indiana, did we ever get that, cause we needed to get it transferred from Indiana to here, the seizure.
That's the one we've had for 4 or 5 months. I
Well, a year.
gave all
Year or
that
two.
information to Chief Pennicamp at the time, told him exactly what he needed to do, and.
Can you give that information to me? Because I was told, remember me talking to you about it, that I was supposed to go, I guess, set up a court date in Indiana to get that transferred.
I get Pennicamp the specific information, and what I'll do is, I'll dig that information out. If I have to, I'll right over there.
Cause I mean, I'll do it. They told me
I don't mind doing it either, I mean, it's just that we
Me
know
and the
what
clerk,
we
yeah,
gotta
we can
do.
go out to lunch and go get it done.
What's that, Highway 59 or over there?
Yeah. We'll check it out.
That's nice.
It is.
Yeah,
A
I
little
guess.
expensive, but
All right,
I was
so
saying that.
hopefully we'll have that dealt with.
Okay.
Do you have anything
Oh,
else?
she been
I
gone.
don't,
Pennicamp.
If you want.
How much that was 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been a while. All right, we'll move on to department heads. Dustin, do you have anything?
It's a sign.
Like you got told that.
No, I'm not asking for money. Just filling council in on what we've been doing in the warmer temperatures, been maintaining the catch basins and clearing them out and repairing them and having to re-brick some of them that are caving in. And patching the potholes on East Main, the cracking's getting worse down there, so we're trying to keep up with that. And did a water main break a few weeks ago down in 21 Main. So random water line in a owned property, neighboring property, no house or anything on it, just a pipe sticking out of the ground, decided to let loose, so had to fix that when it was negative temperatures.
Stutzman's old property where Mrs. Grandma Stutzman lived, where the trailer was.
I'll find the 21, yeah. Okay.
There's no shut offs or anything there, so.
All right.
Other than that, any questions or?
Yeah, can you paint the curb in front of the building?
As soon as we have an
Is that
ordinance,
truck
give
still
us-
out there? Is that ready to go?
Yeah.
It sits out.
Council needs to make that motion if you're gonna 15-minute parking out front.
I think I should.
Yeah.
You guys have to actually,
I make that motion for 15-minute parking out front
I'll second it. And let's paint it too.
and paint it,
and paint it. Okay.
and paint it.
Motion by Kathy Byes Nixon to paint and make a motion to have that front parking 15 minutes only. Seconded by Pam Jackson. Any discussions?
24 hours, or just during work hours of the municipal building being open?
That would probably go for the 24 hours, because it's 15-minute parking's up, it's up. Kind of like across the street.
I was just saying, so like
Yeah.
when we have council meetings, they can't park out front then.
Well, you're gonna be here longer than 15 minutes, so
You better
council,
park
you
it
gotta
for
park
us.
on the side.
You can always come in that door.
Yeah.
I don't park out there.
Ain't bad part, there ain't much parking out there these days.
Right, that was my point.
Dan, don't put a hand down.
Well,
Can you
can I
put
bring
accept
something up?
meeting
Your officer
on?
will be in here, so he won't be, catching.
Well, with that, with the
So-
parking lot, can we also get a sign, no 24-hour parking? We got a lot of residents that are
There's a
parking
lot of
over
cars
there at that parking lot, so if we can get like a sign that says no overnight parking, for example, for the council meeting, so everybody does have a parking lot.
Right.
So where do
We really
our
need to think
people,
through this.
where do
That's
our
all I was
people
getting
park?
at.
Everybody has 2 cars.
I got you.
I don't have any, I haven't had any complaints about not being able to get into that lot. If we don't use it for our people, then the gym people use it and they don't pay a dime for it. They
They get
use it
ticketed.
for as long as they, I just wanna know what our people are gonna do because we have parking problems.
Well,
And if it's not a problem now, I don't see making it one.
Well,
That's just-
our people moved in Addyston knowing what their driveway and what their parking is available in front of their house. And Main Street, you got parking on both sides that go all the way down.
Right.
If it's not a problem now, I don't see making it a problem. That's just my opinion.
I think it needs to be, you guys need to think that through before you go that far, but anyway, so are we done with that? Because we got a motion on the floor for the front, not the
Oh.
parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
great, yeah.
That's not the parking lot.
Well,
The front.
she
I just
brought
wanted-
it up, so.
No parking,
Our motion on the floor is for the front.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with the side.
Can it be both sides with the yellow curb? Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Nay,
I miss her a lot.
I might have to
Glick.
come in that door.
Nay,
what?
nay.
I might have to come in that door.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
I
4
forgot that.
yeas,
Because,
motion carried, right?
Yes, I'll be down at the end of the parking lot, at the maintenance garage,
Yeah, that's the
and
only-
trying to get
that's
to
my
that
only
door.
concern.
Well,
But anyway,
We could
Unless
never
we
hand
put
it
a
down.
lock and handle on this door and make it to where you guys can open it from the outside.
right,
That makes sense.
Because, you know, I'm just thinking of, honestly, I'm thinking of Ann, okay?
I mean, if you put a
That's
handicap
where-
out there, it would help.
Put one handicap.
One handicap out there.
Me too, that's what I was just
but
saying.
there's a lot of people that go to the post office that park over there, and sometimes they're nose to nose trying to
Yeah. They can't even.
get in over there.
Some older people like to come to the municipal building and be able to park in
Oh,
front of
right.
the building because they got handicap reasons. So I was like, if we do at least one handicap spot, that would be great, I think.
You have a free-for-all for that handicap
Yeah,
parking.
you better think about
Been
that
through that
too,
before.
because you guys have been dying that since
Yep.
the new ADA regulations and things. All the ones that are up are grandfathered. And if you put one up out in front, then you're opening it up for everybody.
Yep, I can't park for everybody.
True.
Mm-hmm. All right, Dustin, you got a project.
You got something to do now.
Started right now.
I wouldn't start it right away because it might be a change.
All right, we'll go ahead and go to our chief.
It's gonna be nice this week.
Okay, that's,
Hello, council.
Hello, chief.
So with our new officers, I would like to just move forward with getting approval to unify them. Going off of basically what I've already came up with, going with goals, I can give you guys a copy if you'd like to see it. I can pass that around. Would you like to see the copy of the prices?
Yeah. Sure, Council would.
There are some things that I am missing on here, like OC spray. Now, I did do, to see if we had the shirts, and we do have the shirts in the back, so we can cross the shirts out. But I would like, but with this amount, I would like to bump it to 25 a piece, just because I did forget OC spray. If we're not gonna have tasers, I would like to have the officers to have OC spray, with the OC holster. It's a cheaper option right now, other than tasers. I would like to eventually move on to tasers, but for the time being, let's get them on the road with OC. With that, I just would like to get the approval through council to move forward with unifying our officers.
On the body armor,
And then also with that, I did forget on here, boots for our officers.
What?
Boots, I would like to get our officers boots.
We haven't normally provided that, and if we're in a crunch, I don't know if that's an expense council wants to take.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pass this out to council. This is our policy and procedure for the uniforms of police officer. And within our policy and procedure, it does state that it is recommended that we buy boots for our officers.
Recommend.
I just have one question. So we're gonna spend this money out. If they don't stay within that year or a year or two, I think there should be some type of contract that they'll be responsible to repay the village of Addyston. I mean, most places that you work now make you sign an agreement that A, we trained you, B, we bought all these, supplies, C, if you don't stay with us 1 or 2 years, you'll be responsible to repay the village of Addison a certain amount of money, not the full amount, but a part of the money back.
Well, that sheet that you have too is also a officer checklist. So when they are to get terminated or leave, we go through that checklist and get everything back.
And then but if they don't return it, then I think there should be some kind of contract where if you do not return these items, you will be responsible to
Oh,
pay
yeah,
the
we'll
village of Addison.
hold their last check.
Well, they did get their badges and stuff back last time?
No, there are some badges that we have not received. And that's, it's one badge, and that's from, Wiehe, however you wanna pronounce his name. He purchased a lieutenant badge, and we have yet to receive that lieutenant badge from him.
He purchased it himself?
Under our account,
Oh,
Did he
wow.
purchase it on our account?
Yeah.
ours, yeah,
So the village paid for it?
yes. And we have copies of that, I got copies from Gauls that he actually picked it up to.
Yeah, get his
Yeah.
address.
He wasn't even a lieutenant.
Exactly.
so that was the last couple weeks that he and the previous chief were here. But on the body armor, I did a little bit of research, and we used to order from Angel Armor, and the vests were like $500. And I actually have a list in my office of people who vests were bought for in March and February of 2020, and there's only one vest here in the department. Those vests would still be good. So how do we go about contacting these guys? And,
First, we get a list, and then we get their addresses.
well, I have the list and I can get what addresses we have. But as I explained to the chief, that maybe with Angel Armor, if we could reach out to them, they're located in Colorado, but that's where Chief Dorian ordered the vest from, and that's also where Interim Chief McWhorter ordered the vest from. And I did give the interim chief here, a copy of those things to, to reach out to see if there was a quicker turnaround time for vests, so we could try to, get them suited to be out there.
So is there any type of contract that we can write up, because like you said, now we're missing vests, they didn't I'm pretty sure they didn't hold their last paycheck for that vest.
No.
That's a part of our manual already, and it's just enforced.
But they're not
year
doing
round.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't have a back pay anyhow. If they,
Right.
we don't have a hold, we've talked about this over and over and over.
So
About they shouldn't get paid right away on their first payday. We should be holding that back. And if they don't work during that 2-year period, it's a moot point anyhow. Which we had a lot of officers that didn't do that.
I mean, because that's a lot
I
of
mean, I
money
know
to
things are
come off if
changing now,
somebody
but
doesn't return
having
stuff.
full-time people, but there's been a lot of,
Chief,
Yeah,
this is per officer, right?
that's per officer.
Per officer.
too, just because it's part of their uniform don't mean that we have to pay for it. I mean, you know, we're getting down to shoes now, whatever, it's.
Well, the thing is with this inventory, a lot of this inventory is going to be our inventory. So therefore, we won't have to go back and buy it again.
Right.
I mean, it is unfortunate, we're kind of starting fresh, we're starting new because we don't have it, because other officers didn't turn it in. But I can assure you now, with me in office, I will make sure everything.
And I think a
Law.
contract would ensure it too, because nobody's gonna wanna lose their last paycheck
Right.
for equipment.
And boots are not necessarily something we can pass on to the next guy.
That's just getting.
Right, shoes and boots you can't pass on to the next person.
Right, I mean, there are, certain things that,
Sure.
Certain things they should, like the boots, and they should pay for it.
Yeah, it says uniform, shoes, or approved boots. It doesn't say the village buys them, it
Right.
just says it has to be approved boot.
Right,
right, meaning combat boot.
Right.
which doesn't mean that we have to buy them, they should go have to pay for their own shoes, I mean. Cause that's something you're not gonna be able to use again and give to the next person.
Yeah, I know in most law enforcement, I worked at law enforcement, they cover everything, but we're talking about Village of Addyston. I
Right.
mean, we're supplying the uniforms, training, I mean, there are some things that, I mean, I know it's probably not that much, but really, if you look at a uniform shoe, that's a couple $100 at least.
$204 a pair when
Yeah.
you get them from
Right.
Pazonkas, because
So
I
I
looked
mean, it's
into it.
like,
I'm saying
where do we
10.
go? Yeah.
I
Where
mean,
do we go
now,
with that?
now we're telling our officers that they gotta pay to work here,
Yeah.
so, yeah. We don't have a uniform allowance either.
I mean,
I mean, that is a uniform allowance, $2,210.
Well,
Very
yeah, for
generous.
their
that is
equipment, yeah.
generous.
I mean, I get it, I mean, it costs a lot, but I mean, that's what's required for a police officer.
And you're saying they don't have a uniform allowance, that is a uniform allowance.
Yeah. And we can do what we need to do on an as-needed basis rather than to put a certain amount of money in. If you get your shirt ripped up during an altercation, obviously we'll replace
And I've only put in for 2, I mean, really, we should be putting 3, but I've put for 2. So, yeah. To keep the cost down.
What do we need to do with this? Are we looking to pass something here tonight? or-
Well, that's what he's
Information.
asking,
Mhm.
to uniform the officers.
He's asking for $2,500 per officer, so the 2210.
I mean, we got a uniform, I mean, they can't go out on the street if they ain't got it.
Are all these officers new? Have they had experience before? Have they ever, a duty belt?
Yeah, they're new.
No, they're new from,
So they don't have no experience on the
Yeah.
roads? So we're gonna train them to do that?
Yes.
Gonna train them, we're gonna buy the holster, we gotta buy,
Yeah,
We have the holsters.
Mm.
We do have the holsters. I issued their guns today and their holsters. They do have their holsters.
So it's minus that 240?
Yeah, you can minus the 240 on the holsters.
You said shirts, which shirts? Didn't you say shirts too?
Yeah, the 2 shirts, long sleeves and short sleeves, I have, those are covered, so we can minus those.
But I think you're just trying to say, well, this is what a officer would cost,
Typically.
even though these guys don't need all this. That's what this is.
I'm just looking for the funding to move forward to get what they need to come aboard.
I would be the last one to say, we need to put these guys out there unless they have everything they need, so we need to be careful in looking, making sure that they are well equipped when they go on the road. This is a tough situation as it is. You're going to spend a lot of time on the road training.
That's next.
Yeah.
I got you next, yep, that's next. 'Cause I'm gonna need your guys' approval on something else or your help on figuring this out, because I don't know any other way. But I'm just looking into that next.
What are we doing with this, if anything? You want to send it to the committee, you want to?
I actually think that before we approve this, we need to set up some type of contract for employment, that if this stuff is not returned to the Village of Addyston, the officer will be responsible
Absolutely. I
to
think,
pay the Village of Addyston for these items.
Like I said, we had that, we need to
I think that
enforce it.
needs to be,
See, that's what I didn't like about the other one, didn't specify your, like, this specifies
yeah, it
exactly what
specifies
you're
what
buying.
you have to return to us, and if you
Yeah.
don't, these are the prices that we have put out for you to be employed at the Village of Addyston.
I agree.
I think it's something that we can talk about on
Well, you have a meeting this,
Yeah.
We have a meeting on Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's
put
this
it on
gonna,
a police committee?
but what's this gonna do with what you wanna do with these guys? We've hired them.
Well, they
Well, they're
still
qualifying
can't
next
have a
week,
road
so
Yeah.
Will
I-
they have everything they need next week?
I'm hoping to get everything that they need next week for the
Vest
qualified.
included, wow.
So, we have vests here for them to use that the officers turned in, I have 2.
So we can go with that until money's available later
For vests, yeah.
to do that.
I'm a little confused. I thought that at one point that each individual had to have a specialized vest for him, but they can, but these fit those individuals.
I'm hoping they fit.
Oh,
I'm hoping.
oh,
They may not even fit,
If
so.
not, it's
I mean-
another 6 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they do fit, yeah.
That's what
I do
Frost
know
is,
that at
another
the range,
company.
they at least have vests there to
That's
qualify, but in the
I thought
car,
we had this.
Well, what Don
I'll be
said, he
dealing with
ordered,
one at
he
a
said it
time,
wasn't
and we had
exactly
one
vests,
vest,
it was
so.
plates.
Who makes the
'Cause I asked him
decision
about that.
as to whether
It
that
says
vest
vest
is
on
gonna
the
be good
thing.
or not?
it's
It
dated on
says
the
vest
vest.
right
It's
down,
dated on
it's
the
got
vest.
the
Dated on
plates,
the
it's got
vest,
the
but the
carriers.
fit, I mean,
Oh, well, yeah, the fit, I mean,
Now, didn't we,
maybe a little tighter, maybe a little big,
didn't we
But
it's
just
gotta
approve
be-
This is what we
medium
have.
and a large?
to push forward through right now.
Oh, we did that at the last
I
meeting.
thought it
We
had to
approved
be
the medium and large,
specified.
didn't we?
Specially
Special.
made.
Yeah,
Or
we ordered
specified.
just
They do
plain ones,
specially
but
make
I don't think
vests,
they're gonna
they
be here in
should
time
be,
to get them in the
but,
car.
like
So
the
they're gonna
vest
have to
that
use
I
our vest
asked
that
for
we
was
have
just
now.
so we kept
Right.
those
Which is
here,
still
so
good
we
for
had
about a
something
year.
for them.
Yeah,
to
so we
use.
already got that mother
While they
vest
train.
coming.
Exactly.
Ordered, yes.
Right.
Comment, ordered, place, yes.
Was that the $1,200? The 2 that you just ordered?
Yep.
so is the committee gonna take this up and bring us back a recommendation? We just need to-
Yeah, I don't-
I don't.
Is there
I
some
need
type
to-
of-
I don't wanna leave it lay here.
Right.
Is there some type of contract that you can draw up, Bob, where they would be responsible for this if they do not return it, if they leave the Village of Addyston?
Yes, like Dan said.
I make a
It's
motion,
already in.
yeah, I make a motion that we have the solicitor look at the list and put it formally into an ordinance that all officers will return everything that's pertaining to on that list.
And if not, they'll be financially
And if
responsible
not,
for it.
I mean, we can do a special meeting. If we get something written up, we can do a special meeting and come back to it.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
probably have a few things we need to clear up.
I'll second
You're
it.
right, that's what we
So
want.
you make the motion to, you made the motion.
Yeah,
I mean,
So Dan made the motion to,
I second it.
Pam seconded that motion. Any further discussion on that?
no.
My question is, he's got officers already working, or going to be working.
Uh-huh.
Do they need things off this list, or are they ready?
Yes, they
To
need
work.
things off that.
That's what I'm getting
That's what
at.
I'm pushing for right now, yeah.
So I think if they need things off this list immediately,
Before
what's
February
immediately?
the 14th. They fall on February the 14th, so.
we will have had the meetings.
We'll
that-
have to meet again
Wednesday.
for me. That was my question.
But I would need time to get their things, yeah, from Gauls, purchase it, yeah, so.
Yeah, to see.
Stock items that they'll have to be dressed up.
Yeah.
I gotta call her.
This is two separate votes.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I
The
guess
motion on the floor is just to
I
have
guess
this
it's two
ordinance
separate
drawn
votes.
up, correctly?
For the
Yeah.
financial
This is just a
reason.
finance, yeah,
Okay, let's stick with that
Yeah.
topic.
right.
We all good with that?
With the finance.
All right, call for the vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe.
Yay.
Kathy Byess.
Yay.
Ann Pillow.
Yay.
Al Glick.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay. Now
Okay,
we-
so to clarify, I think what she means is there things on this list that we need to order tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, what are those things?
So the things on this list that we need to order tomorrow would be basically everything that's on my gun belt here. I need mag pouches, we don't need the gun holster,
What pouches?
mag pouches for your magazines, for your bullets. We're gonna need that to qualify. We
Yeah,
would
you do need your belt and holster to qualify, that is correct.
Yes,
Yeah, so I actually went to qualify with the officers with a gun myself and know what they do.
and when you're qualifying
that.
for a potty, you gotta be in your uniform, because this is what you are qualifying in, is your uniform, so. I mean, it'll be basically everything on this list, I mean, your asps, your handcuffs. We got the uniforms other than the pants. The body armor, we have coming, just a medium and a large. We don't have special fitted ones for them yet, but we can get by with the ones that we have coming and the one here. They do have body armor at the range for them to use. So, yeah, I mean, we're looking for a duty belt, belt keepers, gun holster we can cross out, your mag pouch we need a handcuff case. We need our radio holders, handcuffs, ass holder, and that will be it.
I'll make a motion to allow the chief to purchase what he needs to get these officers for training and on the road. I mean, we don't have any other choice.
I'll second.
I'll second.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Al Glick. Any further discussion?
These will be included in the contract rate,
Mhm.
though, okay.
And I think that's a great idea, I mean, 'cause this
Yeah.
is a big investment.
It is.
Yeah,
And to have
So
it
is the
stated
$400
correctly is what
Yeah.
I was looking
$700
for.
for the
Right,
radio
that-
on that.
So if it states
Yeah.
it the way it should be,
Like this, a whole list of what,
Right.
that'd be perfect.
and the
then.
price of each item.
oh, yeah.
Correct. All right. Without any further discussion, we'll go for the vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yeah.
Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
All right,
Do you have
I
anything else?
got one more thing for you guys. Now, this is gonna be for our training, for our officers. I've come up with a schedule on how to train these guys, the most effective and efficiently way. But with doing this, it's gonna be rough on me. It's gonna require me to work 7 days a week. It's gonna put in overtime, but I don't know any other way to do it other than this way. Now, if council can come up or help me decide on another way, that would be awesome, but, I mean, it is gonna be rough for me, 7 days a week. I mean, I don't want to, but if I have to get this done and to get these guys in here, then that's what I will do.
So these new officers that are coming, are they gonna be weekend officers? Cause I heard our weekend officer resigned.
So, all of our part-time officers did resign. We don't have
He
any
didn't
part-time.
actually resign yet,
Which
and I
one?
wanted to speak to you about that before that was brought to council.
On samples?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Because of the letter that I received from him on Friday. I wanna speak with you on that first,
Okay, yeah.
then I'll get back to
So we'll get back to that. But they will be Monday through Friday. It will cover the first shift, second shift, and third shift. And that's giving them 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week.
But that's not the weekend.
Correct. The weekend, we're planning on filling with 12-hour shifts and 4 part-time officers. And that was gonna be, my last thing after this was to get, are we still pushing for part-time officers?
How many hours of training are required?
So, what's required by county is 3 months of FTO training. Now, depending on how fast these guys grasp, the knowledge out there, it could be 2 weeks to a month to 2 months to 3 months. It just all depends on if they pass my FTO training and if they feel confident enough to be out on their own. So, this could just be 2 weeks. They might say,
We gotta feel real confident about them being on the road too.
Right.
me too. And I would say, in a ballpark,
Uh-huh.
I love to teach, I'm very well at teaching.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be beating this into these guys' head, it's a lot to learn, but I'm hoping to get it done in a month. I'm hoping to have them fully trained in a month to where they feel, hey, I got it, I'm confident, and, because I'm gonna be quizzing them through the training.
Yeah.
So,
And this
I'm
might
looking-
change, Jake, if in fact we hire other officers who are qualified.
that can change, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be less FTO training,
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be less training.
Absolutely. I'd be
2 weeks
for
versus a
that.
month. I'm looking at a month with these guys, and, I'll grade them, I'll reevaluate them and feel, hey, do they pass my FTO training, or do I feel, let's add another week on to this training, or 2 weeks onto the training if needs.
So will you bring that to the council if they need more training
Oh,
after
yeah,
that month?
absolutely. Yep.
Okay. One more question. Weekends, will that still be county?
Weekends will still be county until we can get more guys in here, part-time officers, yes. Or we come up with a different schedule with more full-time officers. Either way, it's gonna require more bodies to fill the schedule. But right now, I'm doing the best that I can to fill as many days that I can fill here in Addyston.
I don't see moving forward that we have a choice.
Yeah, there's
We
no
have
doubt.
to train, they have to be trained. I mean, if you're willing to do that, that's a huge commitment on your part.
I
That's a
am,
lot
I
of
mean,
work.
I have a passion here.
Did you call the sergeant at Richmond?
I have not yet.
But he did, I talked to him for about an hour on the phone about some of it, and he does training at his facility, like traffic stops, what to do, what not to do on traffic stops, and he said we could send them there free of cost when they have training. So, I think that's a good idea too.
Yeah.
Richmond.
Maybe the weekends,
Yeah.
the weekend, so you can have your time
New
off.
Richmond.
Richmond.
Yeah.
You're looking at it in Mear weekend.
Yeah.
Over
send-
by Old
yeah,
County,
Why not?
Yeah,
that way.
but I mean, if they're gonna offer the training, I think they should take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially if it's free.
but
Yeah,
a lot of our training is.
It's right
Addison
here.
specific. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Well, you gotta do the
can
weekdays
handle
for
that
that.
part of it.
yeah.
Yeah, the weekdays for Addyston and then maybe the weekends out there in New Richmond. just
Well,
to
that's
get
if they have
extra.
training every weekend. Do
Yeah.
they have
yeah,
it every
see, he
weekend?
schedules actual training with instructors.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So, he basically said he would let you know if you contact him.
Yeah, I'll
like
do a call
dates
tomorrow, yeah.
And what they have going on, cause some of it's the CRTs, cause they're gonna need to do their APADAs in here too.
Yeah. CPT training, yeah.
Yeah, so that's part of the CPT training, and he said that he'll take them on. All right,
Then you'll bring us back another schedule or distribute one after you talk to the guy at New Richmond.
I
well,
don't think-
this has
yeah.
nothing to do with New
Do with
Richmond, this is
Addyston, yeah,
just,
this is for
yeah.
us.
This is just free training that we have an opportunity to
Free
reach out
training,
to.
okay.
Yeah, this is an
Yeah.
opportunity we have to work with them to get free
Great,
training.
got you, thank you.
Not their FTO training.
Mhm.
Right, FTO's all here.
Yeah,
So you're saying the training will start on the 15th?
Their training will start on the 15th, yep. They have their RCIC training on the 13th. On the 14th, we all go and re-qual for the year. And then on the 15th, our first officer will be with me.
I make a motion to approve the overtime for the chief.
I'll second it.
Motion by Kathy Byess, second by Pam Jackson. Is there any further discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
yay,
Jennifer Wiehe, Kathy Byess,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick, Pam Jackson.
Yay.
And lastly, just kind of the report. Fire captain's not here, so I'll just speak on his behalf. So if we're asking fire details, we've only had 3 calls for fire. I feel
Next to
like
me.
there was more, but,
Really?
yep, 3 calls. Now for the police department, for the month of January, we had a total of 84 calls. I would say that's not bad. Mostly was, see complainant or come to the PD for a phone call, so that's really good. I would say worst call that we've got was a burglary in progress.
Was that with the county or?
Yeah, that's a county
That's-
dispatch.
Yep, this is county dispatch, so, and with the burglary in progress, nothing came about that, luckily with a false alarm. And,
So I can send it down to
yeah,
the county.
so it wasn't an actual burglary in progress. So, but that was the worst call that we got for the whole month. Other than that, that's pretty much everything I had for you guys. Any questions?
See me for all the purchase orders.
I will.
Good luck.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
No problem.
Mayor,
Well,
quickly.
yep,
I'm always catching up, I'm sorry.
no, that's
But,
fine.
has council approved the new committees? Have we voted on that yet?
It hasn't been voted on, I didn't make any changes other
Oh,
than she
okay.
just
So,
Took
I-
Jennifer's place.
yeah,
filled her
just,
and Jennifer.
yeah, just to make
Because
it
there's
legal.
too many committees
Yeah,
that are in the middle of things,
yeah.
to change things around, I think that would just not
I
really
just
mess
want
it up.
to, in the, to keep it more chill.
If you would like
I'll
to, make a motion.
Make a motion that we accept the mayor's recommendation for council committees.
Thank you, Dan.
I'll second it.
Motion by Dan Pillow, second by Pam Jackson. Any further discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay?
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
Kathy Byas,
Yay.
Ann Pillow, Al Glick,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
All right, thank you, Dan. We'll open it up to the audience. Does anybody from the audience would like to speak?
I sent you all an email for Kate's obituary information.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, council, business concluded.
I make a motion.
I wanna make
Oh.
a motion to name the park Addyston Community Park. So we have a name for the park? So we have a name for the park?
We haven't worked on names, community names, but I
Addyston
think
Community.
it'd be
I
good
second that.
to do that. We can-
Make Addyston Community Park.
Well, you come out of left field there.
I know.
Everybody that says park, we don't
The
have a
park,
name for it.
the park.
All right,
We just
well,
say the park.
Okay.
so we have Al Glick made a motion to call it Addison Community Park. We have a second by Kathy Byas. Any discussions?
Just so it's named Addyston Community Park instead of just the park. It's got a name.
Ready?
Does anybody else have any further discussion?
Well, no, it just sort of come up. We didn't get a chance to discuss it, but that's fine.
All right, we'll call for the vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Jennifer Wiehe,
Yay.
nay?
Yay.
I couldn't understand it. Yay? You
Yay.
talk softly. Kathy
I can talk
Byas,
softly,
Yay.
I'm sorry, because I couldn't yell.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick,
Yeah.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
So we can get Dustin to make a
ACP,
sign.
Addison Community.
I just have
Park.
one question.
Sure.
Is there an ordinance about people working on their cars on the streets in Addison?
Yes, there is.
Okay, because I know I did call you down there the other day. They're gonna kill somebody down there.
And I was just told today that they're doing the same thing, but right.
Yeah, they're pulling cars up on wood onto a tire and trying to pop the tire off of the rim.
Yep.
Instead of using, I don't know what you use to pop them off, but they're using
They're
a car to
using
do
a-
it.
Tire iron.
That's
Yeah.
old school, yeah.
That's really old,
Wow.
There is emergency.
yeah.
There is an emergency clause. If you have a flat tire, obviously you gotta fix it or.
Well, no, they're just trying to get the metal so they can go take
Yeah.
it down there and cash it in. They're junking.
You see them doing that, nail them for
Oh,
that.
yeah, oh, yeah.
I called him, I said, they're gonna kill somebody. Somebody's gonna really get hurt. Maybe there's them or a driver that's going by and it shoots out in the highway.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
I second it.
Motion by Dan Pillow, second by, I think I see Ann. Dan, call for the vote.
Dan Pillow.
Yes, yay.
Jennifer
Yay.
Wiehe,
She's already up.
Kathy Byas,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Al Glick.
We're 12 hours, I'm tired.